One day, a young man held a stone in his hand. To some, it was worthless. To others, it was priceless. But what he discovered about the stone would completely change how he saw himself and his life. In a small village surrounded by towering mountains, there lived a young man named Armin. He was loved by his community for his kindness and hard work. Whether it was helping an elderly neighbor carry firewood or teaching children how to read, Armin never hesitated to lend a hand. Yet, despite his efforts, he felt invisible. Every night, as he lay under the stars, Armin wrestled with the same question: why do I feel like I'm not enough? No matter how much he gave or how hard he worked, a voice inside him whispered, "You're not valuable." One evening, consumed by frustration, Armin decided to seek help from Baba Rafi, the village elder. Known for his wisdom and insight, Baba Rafi was the person everyone turned to in times of doubt. When Armin reached Baba Rafi's modest home, the elder welcomed him with a warm smile. "Come in, my boy. What troubles your heart?" Armin poured out his feelings. "Baba, I work hard and try to help everyone, but no matter what I do, I feel unimportant. How can I know my true worth?" Baba Rafi listened patiently, his eyes filled with understanding. After a moment, he said, "Armin, I can help you, but first, I need you to do something for me." He reached behind him and pulled out a dull, rough-looking stone. "Take this stone to the market tomorrow. Show it to people and ask how much they're willing to pay for it. But no matter what they offer, don't sell it. Bring it back to me after you've asked around." Armin was confused. The stone looked ordinary. Why would anyone want it? Still, he trusted Baba Rafi, so he nodded and left. The next morning, Armin went to the bustling village market, clutching the stone. He approached the vegetable seller first. "How much would you pay for this stone?" he asked. The vegetable seller laughed and said, "That's just a rock. I'll give you 1 potato for it if you're lucky." Feeling a little embarrassed, Armin moved on to the butcher. "How much would you pay for this stone?" The butcher examined it briefly and said, "It's just a heavy paperweight. I'll give you 5 coins for it." Disheartened, Armin continued asking people around the market. Most dismissed the stone as worthless. Just as he was about to give up, someone suggested he visit the jeweler in the next town. Armin decided to give it one last try. He walked for hours until he reached the jeweler's shop. The jeweler, an old man with sharp eyes, took the stone and examined it carefully under his magnifying glass. Suddenly, the jeweler's eyes widened. "Where did you find this?" he asked, his voice filled with excitement. "It was given to me," Armin replied. The jeweler smiled and said, "This is no ordinary stone. It's an unpolished ruby, one of the rarest I've ever seen. Its value is beyond measure. If you're willing to sell it, I can offer you thousands of gold coins." Shocked, Armin thanked the jeweler and hurried back to Baba Rafi, clutching the stone tightly. When he reached Baba Rafi's home, Armin recounted everything that had happened. "Baba, I don't understand. How can the same stone be worthless to some people and priceless to others?" Baba Rafi smiled knowingly. "Armin, this stone is like you. To some, it seemed worthless because they didn't recognize its true value. Others, like the jeweler, could see its worth because they understood what it truly was. The same is true for your life. Your value doesn't depend on what others think of you. It depends on what you believe about yourself. Like the ruby, you are rare and unique, but unless you see your own worth, you'll always let others determine it for you." Armin sat in silence as the words sank in. For the first time, he realized that his doubts and insecurities were holding him back from seeing his true potential. From that day forward, Armin began valuing himself, not based on others' opinions, but on the knowledge that he was unique and irreplaceable. He became more confident, pursued his dreams, and inspired others to discover their own inner worth. Your value is not determined by others' opinions. Like a rare gem, your worth is inherent and priceless. Believe in yourself, because when you see your own value, the world will too.